Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. I want to talk about the Doomsday Clock. It was updated this past Thursday, January 22nd, 2015. There's some curiosities about that date. And also, there's quite a few curiosities about the Doomsday Clock that go back to its inception, which is where I want to begin. So, the Doomsday Clock was established in the year 47 by the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists, and it was supposed to be a warning for humanity about the dangers of nuclear war. And honestly, what it reminds me of is the terror threat color scale we were given in the wake of 9/11. Remember the color scale? Orange, red, yellow, etc. And in the first year after 9/11, we got a lot of updates about the terror scale in the media, and probably actually the first few years. So much time has passed, it's hard to remember it all clearly, but I do remember the news updates with the terror color scale here in the United States in the wake of 9/11. So this doomsday clock, it was following World War II and along with the Cold War. And True Seeker, if you're not aware, what I think from doing this research and other research and paying attention to this world is I'm pretty sure they have hoaxed us with nuclear weapons. I am pretty sure they do not have this capability. I think whatever they're capable of from the Manhattan Research Project was shown to us on September 11th, 2001 in Manhattan when the World Trade Centers were reduced to rubble and dust. That program, the majority of it was underground bomb testing. And in 1993, there was a major underground bombing at the World Trade Centers. That's also the time the underground testing program that originated out of the Manhattan Project wrapped up under Bill Clinton's leadership. The underground testing program finished, the 93 World Trade Center bombings occurred. Perhaps what they did is, with the excuse of those bombings, they went and planted the devices they'd been researching for all this other time. Perhaps they were ready to go at that point. Just a thought. I'm not saying that's the way it was, but when you look at it all, it makes a lot of sense, actually. And something special was used on that day. Some people say that the footage we've seen of 9/11 and the buildings turned to dust is all fake and computer imagery. Perhaps that's true, but somehow those buildings were brought down, and somehow they were brought down without, tipping over and crashing over for city blocks. So it does seem that something special was used. Those were massive buildings. Um, Anyway, this doomsday clock, it was established in the year 47, this number of much significance with regards to the World Trade Centers. Building 7, which fell that day, was 47 floors tall. It fell 8 hours after World Trade Center 1 and 2. The mainstream media reported that this building had fallen a half hour before it actually fell. Very curious. Signs that something was up that day, something was amiss. As for the name of the thing we're talking about, the Doomsday Clock, the word Doomsday has very interesting gematria. Doomsday sums to 33 with Pythagorean gematria. With the S exception, it would sum to 42. We know about that number as well. With simple English gematria, it sums to 96, like the word Freemason. And when you think of Doomsday in World War II, it's said to be June 6th, 6. Think about the relationship between 33 and 66. Two 33s equals 66. If you write out 33 and sum it with Pythagorean gematria, it sums to 66. The word clock is also interesting. It has gematria exactly like the word kill, reducing to 44 and 17, just like kill. But the other thing that's interesting is there's this relationship between 44 and 144. 44 in simple English gematria sums to 144, and I suspect this is why we spell 40 with no U. The number 42 also sums to 142. Anyhow, notice how clock equals 44 and the word time with simple English gematria equals 47. Remember, this was established in the year 47. Time itself equals 47. But in Jewish gematria, time equals 144. And look at the relationship between 44 and 144. Think about the relationship between time and clock. So when you guys ask me why I do these different forms of gematria and am I just making all this stuff up, I'm saying no. I'm trying to present it fairly, clearly, and show how it is all interconnected. Because in doing this research, that's very much how it seems to me. 47 was a big year in this country. That's also the first year the State of the Union was televised. State of the Union sums to 66. As for the date of this most recent update, where they set the time at 11:57, last year it was 11:55, this year 11:57. The date was January 22nd, 2015. 1 plus 22 plus 15 sums to 38, like the word death. I just find this interesting. But the other thing about this time is it's been here before. The last time it was set to 11:57 was the year 1984, like the George Orwell novel. In that book, it begins on April 4th, 4-4. The main character is Winston, a name with a gematria of 33. Signet, the publishing company, has a gematria of 74. There's just so much coded gematria in that book and numerology. It's undeniable. And I really do think it was a foretelling of what is coming for us as a society. Some might say we've already reached the 1984 state. But one more point. With regards to 84, United States of America equals 84. With Pythagorean gematria, United States of America equals 84. That's Pythagorean. This year's Super Bowl that's upcoming and very close is in Arizona, which with simple English gematria also sums to 84. Barack Obama's birthday is August 4th, 8-4. The word lawyer equals 84. We're said to be a nation of laws written by lawyers. I also wanted to point out that with this time in numerology, if you look at 11 as a separate number and 57 as a separate number, the hours and the minutes, in numerology, multiples of 11 can remain double-digit numbers, but all other numbers are supposed to get reduced to a single digit. So 5 plus 7 becomes 12. It's not a multiple of 11. 1 plus 2 becomes 3. So this time could also be looked at as 11-3, 113. The word salvation equals 113. The word apocalypse also equals 113. But again, it's been this time before. It was this time in 1984. And in history, it's even been more further along than 1157. It's been at 1158 before. That was in the year 53, another number that's of much significance this year. On my written blog, I have these other posts about the Doomsday Clock from the past. In the year 2012, they updated the clock on December 14th, the day of the Sandy Hook shooting, interestingly enough. You can read more about this at my blog. Last year, the clock was set on January 15th, exactly a week earlier. I suspect this has to do something with the moon, stars, astrology. I'm not an expert there. I'll save it for anybody else who has more knowledge in that field. Real quick, we can look at the history of the Doomsday Clock. Again, it started in that year 47, so important to these people. The word time equals 47. Perfect year for a Doomsday Clock. Here it is in 1953. This is the highest the time's ever been set to. 2 minutes till 12. Right now we're at 1 minute till 12. And in that year, the United States and the Soviet Union supposedly began testing their nuclear bombs. And here's 84, the last time it was set to the same time. Also having much to do with Russia and the United States. And what do you know? Russia is becoming front and center in the media again. So the international climate is similar. Perhaps it's all just a redoing of what's already been done. All right, Truth Seeker, hope you learned something new. Until next time.